Good morning or good evening, colleagues. How can you hear me? While everybody is voting, I want to say that we still can order balsam with extended delivery time. The minimum order is 3 bottles, and the delivery price is 3,000 rubles per bottle. All those who buy the balsam with extended delivery time, the company will pay for this delivery itself, so you don't have to pay for delivery. Please be reminded that there are wholesalers discounts. If you order 30 plus bottles, you get 10% discount, 150 bottles, 15% discount, and 20% discount if you order 300 plus bottles. This is a wholesale discount for those who want to buy a bigger volume of the balsam. Please also be reminded that there is a plan when the production starts. We are going to include the balsam distribution in the network of our partners to market the balsam, not just to attract investments, but to sell balsam as well. Well, I think that all of you who wanted to participate in our competition for participatory share distribution have done it all, and we can start. I will check things because I have my webinar. In parallel, I forgot to print it out. The first point is that, as asked by many investors, including foreign investors from India and Vietnam, we have added a package for $250. The smallest package now, $250 with $25 per month with extended or deferred payment for 10 months. It includes 54 participatory shares, if my memory serves me right. Second point, you all can see the name of the balsam. This is the voting that took part in our group in social networks. There were a few options on how to call this balsam, and you can see that from those options that are here today, most of the people have voted for immunobio and immunobalsam. So those two options are the main or the most selected ones today. I'm not sure if they will stay 100% going forward, because in the near future, this week, we will start working out with a marketing agency, and they will probably have some adjustments for this name. I'm not sure now, but it may stay as it is, because if we go into this trade name, immunobio and immunobalsam, it means that this is a immune system booster. Immunobio, bio means some organic components inside it. Immunobalsam is something that is related to immune system, and it is a balsam-based substance. But there could be some adjustments. I'm not sure now what they will be. The next point is that we are now finalizing the label design. The basis of design was a label from Solga company products. This company produces a lot of herbal nutrients and vitamins, and they have this label on a dark glass. And I would say that me personally and people who I talked to they would tell me that this design looks pretty cool, but there are no extra features which are not needed, so it looks very aesthetic, and it refers to the product itself. This is not gold, but we could call it bronze. I mean the color. There are a few shades, and all just letters are black. Instead of a red ribbon, we have added a green one, as well as a logo of our company. In the lowest part of the label, with smaller circles, you can see our little logo. There are two options now, on the right side and on the left side. The working title is Immunal Bio. The design is not yet approved, and there could be just some adjustments, but there will be not big, within 10 or 15%. There could be some adjustments for design or anything else, but overall I think it will stay as it is. Vlad, you're saying that it's too much of a good thing, but if we look at a vitamin D3 label, I would say it contains much more information that our option has. Our bottle is smaller than vitamin D3, maybe 3 or 4 times smaller, and probably our bottle will not have this dense font. I think enough is enough. The only thing is to align it with the printing office to have a good quality. Next point. I would like to remind you that we continue publishing videos from our partners who have already undergone the balsam treatment course from the first batch about 4 years ago. A total of this is our internal clinical trials, and about 15 persons have participated in it, if my memory serves me right. 2 of them have provided their feedback during previous webinars, and Zarema, one of our investors, she has recorded her video, and I'm going to show it to you now. I have not seen it myself. Hello, I'm Zarema, and I live in the city of Makhachkala, the sunny Dagestan Republic, and now I would like to provide my feedback about the use of the balsam. 18 months ago, I felt some tension in my breast. I consulted a physician, and he said it's not a big deal. However, it became bigger and bigger, and I had to go to Moscow to be operated on, and the case was diagnosed as the breast carcinoma. It was removed, but I said no to chemotherapy. And I began to look for a milder cure against this disease, and I came across this wonderful company represented by those people. And I would say that, I was offered this balsam as a treatment. So, and that coronavirus pandemic came in. So we fell ill, and me and my husband, we fell ill with coronavirus. We had two-sided pneumonia. I felt very bad, and I had very bad feelings because I was feeling bad, and the balsam, it seemed not helping me. But what happened next? I took that balsam. The treatment was fine. We have done it very quickly. But what happened next? It was like a surge of power. And I was telling my children that I was going to change wallpaper in my house. I began painting. Whatever I postponed for later time, I said I had no force, but now it's like a second wind for me, and I began doing that. We had quite a few people who had COVID-19. They were saying that they had such bad feelings, but I had the second wind, and I think that this is balsam. I wouldn't say that it's something else. I think this is it. My recent laboratory tests are not yet published. My husband is having wonderful results as well, but this is a surge of power. I feel very good emotionally, and this balsam did it. It helped me out a lot. So thank you, dear producers. All the best to you. I'm feeling good. This was Zarema, and some more information for you. When Zarema began taking this balsam with her husband, after 5 days, she gave me a call that her blood pressure went up. She was saying that she was feeling nothing, no results, but after another 10 days, she began having those positive results, and she wrote about it to me. And some more information for you. 2 weeks ago, our programmer fell ill with pneumonia. He took antibiotics. He stayed in hospital for a week, and I had my last bottle of balsam. I sent it over to him. He was taking it for 3 days, and he said that he began feeling better on the 4th day. He had a very high temperature. Nothing helped. Even antibiotics didn't help, but he promised me to provide his feedback later. So these are the results of our treatment. Next stage. We are going to speak about participatory shares and dividends at our company. As said, the total number of participatory shares at our company is 2.6 million, and 0.6 million are now being sold out to investors. So by doing so, we want to attract money to start our production. Now, a total of 270,000 participatory shares have been sold out. There is no extra emission of shares, and the plan is that out of 90,000 shares, 55,000 are outstanding now. There is a good momentum in Vietnam. The Vietnamese investors are buying shares every single day. They also asked us to add this little package, as there could be more investors from Vietnam buying smaller packages or sets of shares, as their representatives have said that they have the situation. Dividends now. Those slides have been prepared today. This is our dividend plan for the first year. As I said, the total number of shares is 2.4 million, 600,000 are being sold out now, and the plan for the year 2020 is 30,000 courses, which is 90,000 bottles. If we deliver the plan, our company's net profit will be $2.5 million, and $4.17 will be dividends per share, give or take. The second year dividends, the yearly plan is 100,000 courses, 0.3 million bottles, 8,250,000 rubles, dollars, and the dividends are higher. And the third year plan is 3 times higher than for the second year. Net profit would be 24,750,000, and the dividends will be about $40. So if you have 1,000 shares, your dividends per year will be about $40,000. If you have any questions, please let me know. Once again, there are $55,000 participatory shares outstanding for the fifth stage. The Asian market is boosting now, and I think that it could be bought out within a month or 45 days. It's probably the volume of sales or purchases will increase, and that could happen even faster. Please be reminded that the distribution of dividends for the first year will happen step by step, depending on the stage. Not financial stage, but the time step when the participatory shares were purchased. If you bought it before the 15th of July, you have 100% of dividends, 15th of August 90%, 15th September 70%, 15th October 60%, 15th November 50%. So it looks like those investors who bought out their investment shares would have bigger dividends than for investors who begin buying shares later. So this is the incentive for investors to do it faster. The distribution of dividends will also take into account participatory shares that have already been bought out, not those for disbursement. There was a question on the investment contract, individual investment contract with a person's name. If you have already bought out a set of shares, and if you want to have an individual contract via regular mail, you have to make an application at our chat online. You will get the information on how much the delivery costs, and then you could get it via regular mail, or you can receive it at your electronic mailbox. This copy has the same legal value. And thirdly, our programmer could organize your personal account so that an individual contract would appear in your account. Now, production. Our production is as follows. Diascaria of the Caucasus is the last component which is missing. All other components are now available, and I believe that we will be able to get that concentrate in the coming week. All the necessary equipment for the first batch of balsam is there. The only thing which is missing is the filling pump, which has to be delivered next week. So I believe that the entire set of equipment will be ready next week, and all the raw materials will also be available, and we will get ready for the first batch to produce. This is our pilot production line, as the next step is full-scale production. I have prepared the terms of reference for the line of production, which was shown to you during the recent webinar. This is an automated line with a conveyor belt. Bottles are having a certain order, and this is an automatic filling. The cap is attached automatically, as well as the sticker, and then they are packed. The production line can produce up to 1,000 bottles per hour. The terms of reference was sent out yesterday. Then the commercial offer is expected from those guys by that terms of reference, and while the specification is there with some nuances, the production time is about 2 months. So the full-scale production will be launched in late August, early September. But as I said, the first batch of balsam will be delivered by pre-order. I would say it's going to be finished in mid-July. The amount of the first batch is 2,000 to 4,000 bottles. If there is a need to provide more, I think that it could be done, as the equipment is there and the raw materials are there, so the production process looks easier when everything is commissioned. This is it for our agenda, and now please go ahead with your questions. Elena, hello. Will first 100 partners be supplied with free balsam? Answer: I cannot tell it to you now. I am not sure now. We have to think about it, as there were big changes at our company. And for that silver, gold, and platinum status, everything is as agreed. All those people will get free courses as agreed. I don't remember exactly. Silver 1 course, gold 2 courses, and platinum 3 free courses. The company will pay for that. You only have to pay for delivery. The first 100 partners, I'm not sure to tell it to you now. It's quite a lot of bottles, and once we start full-scale production, not now, but when the line is fully operational, I think that this moment could be discussed at that time, and we could probably do this. Question: silver investors. As I said, those guys would get it definitely. A question from Ivan Kuznetsov. Good evening. A total number of participatory shares is 2.4 million. What about 1.8 shares? Who they belong to? Answer: they belong to the company, and this is our emergency stock. There will not be distribution of dividends for them. They will stay at a company balance sheet, and they will only be used if necessary to attract extra investment. This is one of the options. If there is a need to attract assets or funds, we have quite a few participatory shares in stock to attract additional investment. Question: how many shares belong to that $250 package? Answer: it's 54. 50 is a regular number and 4 come as bonuses. The question is, the plan was 20,000 courses for the first year, not 30,000 courses. Is anything changed? Answer: Dmitry, I think it's better to produce 30,000 courses instead of 20,000 courses. This is just a tentative figure. No one has changed anything here. Dividends. They would be distributed step by step for the first year only. I mean, then all the dividends will be distributed evenly since the second year. Question: which equipment is required, which is already available? Answer: we are now waiting for the dosing pump. The rest is there. Question: what about the quality control at different stages? Answer: Vasily, I don't know how to answer your question. What do you mean by quality control? Product purity or quality of what? If we buy raw materials, that raw materials have quality certificates. It has already undergone a quality check. We don't produce commodities, we buy it. And our quality control is to ensure bottles to be in line with standards, to have filling into clean bottles, and to have all necessary HSE and fire safety rules at the production site. And everything should be clean. This is my understanding of quality control. Question: is there any plan for a company to buy out participatory shares? Who they will belong to, or will they be just reduced in number? Answer: if company is buying shares itself, those shares will belong to the company, and there will be no distribution of dividends on that share. If the total number of participatory shares sold is 0.6 million, the dividends would be distributed for that 0.6 million shares. But if investors have 0.4 million shares, and the distribution of shares will be like some dividends go to that 0.4 million and the rest goes to 0.2 million that belong to the company. Question: you said that we could deliver 20,000 courses with good marketing. Will you have good marketing? Answer: of course, we will have good marketing strategy. We're trying hard to do that. There will be a few marketing lines of business. As I said before, we are going to engage the marketing agency next week. This is the first point. Secondly, we are going to be engaged with retail or network companies who will sell our product in their network. And thirdly, we have about 2,500 people who have registered their personal accounts. It's quite a lot. And thirdly, I would say that our product, no matter how strange it could be, it so happened that it has a good impact on the healing process in a person who fell ill with COVID-19 or pneumonia. because this is a very relevant point in the world, because everybody is looking for a magic pill against this virus, but we already have this product working out in that direction. So there are 5 or 4 persons who had COVID-19 and who took that balsam, and they had no bad consequences for their health. And if this information goes further, if it goes out like advertising, we could sell it off, and we will not be able to satisfy the demand, because the demand could be much higher than supply, and we could probably run out of raw materials to satisfy this demand. Our product is made up of non-synthetic components that could be produced in a laboratory. It's full organic, but organic components are growing in certain parts of the world. They depend on the season. They don't grow in wintertime, so there are quite a lot of things. And now, tomorrow, I will get in touch with the factory that is a producer of raw materials to order extra stock of commodities if demand would be higher than supply, for us to offset it. Next question. What is going to be a retail price? Answer: 3,000 rubles per bottle. It is still unchanged, and there is no plan to change it so far. Once we start working out with a marketing company, there could be some changes, or could not be some changes, as the main task is to bring our product to the market, for the people to know about it. And it makes no sense to have a very high price from the beginning. Once we sell 50k or 100k courses, when hundreds, thousand people or millions of people know about us, then we could raise the price, not based on the fact that we have just to make more money, but the number or the amount of raw materials is limited. We may not produce it infinitely. We could only have like 0.3 million courses in a year, or we could think about other producers of raw materials in a different place. So this is the preliminary data. Yeah, we can extend production if required, as 1,000 bottles per hour, even if the shift is 10 hours per day. It's 10k bottles per shift, multiplied by 30 days. It's 0.3 million bottles in a month. It's quite a lot. It's 100 courses a month for one line. And to increase that capacity, we have to think a lot which volume to sell. A question: Will there be a distribution of outstanding participatory shares among investors? What is going to be the proportion of such distribution? Answer: the distribution question has been raised. Some participatory shares will be distributed among earlier investors who came to us at an earlier stage. The proportion rate is not clear now, as it's going to be understood closer to that financial stage. A question: Could we buy half a million courses worth of raw materials? Answer: we could do that, but we need to think that raw materials for 500,000 courses is a big deal in terms of money, and we will hardly be able to pay for it now. Question: who are early investors? Answer: I think that we will outline the number of early investors. They will probably be the people who were able to become investor before the 1st of April or the 1st of May, when we had difficulties at our company. I think that we will define this date. Who are early investors? Question: are we going to buy refrigeration equipment? Answer: there is no plan to buy refrigerators yet. As far as I know, Alexei Mironov is engaged in production of refrigeration equipment, and he probably wants us to buy his equipment. We're now purchasing glass bottles, caps, as well as self-adhesive labels, cardboard boxes. These are major items that we're now buying. Well, there are no more questions now. Are there any more questions? I got it, Alexei. You're saying that the balsam should be stored in the refrigerator. I got it. I'm gonna discuss this issue with developers. They didn't specify this point that it has to be stored in a cold storage. We were talking about the list of equipment, and there were no refrigeration issue. A question from Leonid about the package design. Are there any news on ILA? Yes, there is a web version launched, and they could talk in an ILA app, not only those guys who have an iPhone, but those who have Android phones could also talk to that app. And ILA is going to have a partnership conference probably in the city of Sochi, and most likely after the first batch of balsam is finished, we have to celebrate this in Sochi alongside with ILA. Question: what about other products? Where do you have money for this? Answer: we will do other products by selling participatory shares. The balsam and other products will be paid from that participatory share sales. Victoria, the Kocherov investors, do they have anything to do with our company? Answer: only those investors have to do with our company who have personal accounts at our company. If they don't have personal accounts at our company, they have nothing to do with our company. What about early investors? What year or date is for early investors? As I said, that information will be posted on all our official resources. Tatiana, please remind it to me about early investors. We have to set the date for them. Well, no more questions. Well, guys, if there are no more questions, I'm saying goodbye. To all of you, I think the webinar was interesting. I wish you a good weekend. I wish you to be healthy. And until next time.